Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It's Friday morning, April 6, 2018, episode number 320, and I am so thankful to be with you guys yet again another day. So glad you're here this morning. We have made it to Friday, guys. To Friday. It's here. We made it through the entire week after Easter, and now it's the last day of the work week for some. For some, it's the start of the weekend already, and good for you if it is. It's not for us or for me, but we'll get there, so it's all good. And let's see, what happened yesterday? Yesterday was a busy work day. It was fantastic, very productive, good day. Had to go out late and pick up one of my boys from work at the night, so that was kind of cool, getting down to the old school that I went to. I graduated from the University of Scranton, and one of my boys just started working there, and got to be on campus. I haven't been there in so long, and I'm curious, are you allowed to walk around on a college campus as just anybody? Like, is anybody allowed to just walk around and go into buildings, in the library, in the cafeteria, or would they throw me out if I went down there just to hang out and read a book or to work on my computer or something? I don't know the answer to that, but I think I'm going to have to find that out. So I hope you guys are all doing very, very well, though. Interesting fact to share with you this morning, guys. Did you know that Volvo, the automaker, gave away the 1962 patent for the revolutionary three-point seatbelt for free in order to save lives? Yes, if you recall, seatbelts used to be one strap like when you get on an airplane, and they went over and clicked with the little button to release it. And then they switched to the 3-point one, the one that goes over your chest and the one over your waist. That was Volvo's invention, given away for free. Kudos to you, Volvo, for putting lives before anybody else. See, lives matter to Volvo. Very good. As you know, the Masters started yesterday, and I did read an interesting article that I don't have queued up to share with you today, but if you recall the Bud Light commercial where they say dilly dilly, right? Every time, all the time, it drives people crazy. Yelling dilly dilly is against the rules at the Masters this year. If you are a spectator and you yell dilly dilly, they will escort you off the property. How do you like that? I guess I don't know what the reasoning is, except for that Bud Light didn't pay any sponsorship money, and everything's about money when it comes to sports. So the last thing they want is people standing at the Masters yelling the brand recognition dilly dilly for Bud Light, and they didn't pay a penny. So I'm sure that's why they did it, but I don't know that for sure, I guess. So that's my thought. But anyways, I hope you guys are all well. I'm glad you're here, whether it's on Facebook Live, on YouTube, or on any of the podcasts. It's always a pleasure joining with you guys each and every day. I do have stories for you this morning. As always, let's move on. And remember, the stories that I share with you, I'm always sharing little snippets of them. The full articles with facts, figures, links, all that stuff is all available at themorningroutine.live. Yes, you can go right there and find all the articles that you need. So, in fact, today is Friday. Today at 10 a.m., if you went to themorningroutine.live and signed up for the newsletter on the right-hand side or on the bottom of the screen, today at 10 a.m., your email will ding with a list of all the articles for this past week shared right there, so you can check out each and every individual one if you missed a day, or if you want to forward it to somebody else to say, hey, check out these great articles that were shared this week. It's all there, 10 a.m. in your inbox if you went to themorningroutine.live and signed up for that option. So on we go, guys. Let's get into some stories this morning. The first story that I have for you is out of heartsupport.com by Benjamin Sledge. The title of the article, and this is the author writing this article, the title is The 3 Most Important Things to Know Before You Ever Consider Getting Married. Yes. Now you may say, maybe I'm not in the mood, I'm not going to get married. Well, follow along and see if you agree with this author's, what he thinks, okay? So what he says are the 3 most important things to consider. 1, marriage is a covenant, not a contract. Okay, that's this author's opinion on this one. I happen to agree with this, okay? Getting married these days is like having a relationship with your internet service provider. As long as you keep providing the internet, I'll keep paying. He's right. Marriage does seem like that these days, right? For the modern day view of it. Far too often we treat marriage the same, a formal contract based on happiness and some legal benefit. A covenant is not a legal contract that lays out terms, but a mutual understanding that regardless of performance, you're still all in. It's a love that understands the essence of marriage is a sacrificial commitment to the good of the other. That is the difference between a contract and a covenant. Number two, marriage will intensify your problems, not fix them. Far too often we think by spending enough time with another person, inconsistencies and flaws will get smoothed out. So anybody who's been married, how has that worked out for you? Yeah, this author, we're tracking, right? We're tracking with this guy. But once you realize you might have to deal with them forever, it's easy to get cynical, bitter, jaded, and angry. The person you marry at the altar that day will be the same person 40 years from now. So don't delude yourself. Sure, improvement is necessary for any relationship to thrive, but good luck with that. And number three, according to this author, get your crap together before you get married because your past will come back to haunt you. Spend the time now becoming the type of person you'd want to date or marry. If you have issues plaguing you, then spend the time prior to ever getting married, healing and growing. The amount of conflict and grief you'll save yourself will be worth the investment. Do you struggle with feelings of abandonment because absent parents growing up? You'll struggle with that in marriage and worry that your spouse will do the same. Do you deal with feelings of worthlessness or have a hard time finding purpose? In marriage, you put your self-worth on your spouse or look to them for purpose, you'll always be let down. Do you notice pride or selfishness in your life? Those character defects will shine like a nuclear mushroom cloud in your home, says this author. Those are three great tips that this author wrote out in this article. Great article if you want to share it with somebody, of course, at themorningroutine.live. And I thought it was on the spot. So 3 things to consider before you're getting married, and 3 things to be aware of if you already are married that maybe are weaknesses that we can work on, right? If any of those rung out, you're like, boy, I wish I knew that. Well, that doesn't mean that you don't know it now. Now you know it. So let's fix it, Good morning, Paul. Good to see you this morning, buddy. So on we go. Next story we have for you is, what's the next story I got for you guys? Oh, yes, this one. All about your smartphones. That's right. This one comes out of Harvard Business Review. Having your smartphone nearby takes a toll on your thinking, even when it's silent and face down. Isn't this amazing? So listen to this. This is Harvard Business Review. In 2 lab experiments, nearly 800 people completed tests designed to measure their cognitive capacity. Before completing these tests, the researchers asked participants to either place their phones in front of them, face down on their desks, or keep them in their pockets or bags, or leave them in another room. The results were striking. The closer the phone to the participant, the worse they fared on the task. The mere presence of our smartphones is like the sound of our names or a crying baby, something that automatically exerts a gravitational pull on our attention. Resisting that pull takes a cognitive toll. Isn't that interesting? Just the phone being nearby, it's an ever-present pull on your mind, like as a crying baby, like he said. Isn't that fact? Individuals who completed these tasks while their phones were in another room performed the best, followed by those who left their phones in their pockets. In last place were those whose phones were on their desks. Why are smartphones so distracting, even when they're not buzzing or chirping at us? The immense value smartphones provide as personal hubs connecting us to each other and to virtually all the world's collective knowledge positions them as important and relevant to a myriad aspects of our lives. And they ring out because our brains are constantly deciphering what to pay attention to and stay in tune to and what to tune out. So, moral of the story, if you're having dinner with your family, if you're out to dinner with your friends, if you're trying to get work done at your work at your desk or at home, don't have your phone on the desk next to you. Put it away. At least they recommend leaving it in another room, but at least keep it in your pocket so it's out of sight and more out of mind, and you have more attention then. Interesting article. I love that. Okay. Last little story I have for you. This keeps coming up, but it's because it's so trending right now. We have to keep talking about it. This comes out of Kotaku.com. Teens and teachers say Fortnite Mobile is destroying some schools. Yes, the video game. We've talked about this a couple times in the last 2 weeks. It is trending really big. This is huge, but it's becoming a major issue. I brought this up Wednesday night when a teacher was present, and I thought he was going to pop a blood vessel out of the side of his head. He started having, I'm like, wow, you are really angry about this game. And he's like, you have no idea what it's doing to my classroom. It's unbelievable. Well, this article is going to support exactly what his reaction was. For months now, teachers everywhere have heard students talk about Fortnite, the world's latest obsession, which is this video game on the phone. Fortnite is now a huge distraction you can take anywhere. Many schools have rules against cell phones, but nothing can stop students from booting up. Everyone is playing it, teens say, so schools have tried to ban it. There has been a rise in the number of incidents with students walking into classes while playing games. They started a match during lunch or before school and need to finish the 10 to 15 minute long match. Some of the matches last even longer. If you're playing on PUBG, which is similar to Fortnite, they can last up to 30 minutes long. Yes. What makes Fortnite different is that it is a meaty and intense game that everyone is playing because it's free. Plus, if you're bad at Fortnite, you can still just watch others play and have a blast. It's a great spectator sport. This is becoming a major issue in the schools today. If your students are playing Fortnite, I can't blame them. It's a fun game. I started playing it myself just to check it out, and I'm having fun playing it. But they're right. It's hugely distracting. The amazing part in here, guys, is the last part. A lot of people are going to say, what do you mean they could just watch the game and that's distracting? Esports, which is video games, electronic sports and events, is the fastest growing thing in the world. There is so much money there. You see now basketball teams. If you read online, Google NBA esports. Just Google it. You'll find out that basketball teams, professional basketball teams, are now putting together professional video game basketball playing teams because they play in tournaments for millions of dollars. It's huge business and very distracting. So anyways, that's the stories I have for you today, guys. Let's move on to what's trending. The top 10 most searched things yesterday. Number 1, Conor McGregor is number 1. Number 2, earthquake. There was an earthquake out actually this says 5.3 earthquake recorded in the Channel Islands. That must be near LA, I guess, because I saw there was an earthquake in LA. So I don't know where the Channel Islands are. It must be right off the shore there. Number 3, Jersey Shore, as in the TV show, I guess. I don't know. Number 4, blockers. Number 5, Kyrie Irving. Number 6, Salman Khan. Number 7, Chappaquiddick is number 7. Number 8, Mike the Situation. I remember him. Man, I haven't heard that name in a long time from MTV, right? Jersey Shore guy. Number 9, Frozen 4 2018. And number 10, Doris Burke. Those are the top 10 most searched things on Google. Man, I didn't search any of those things. Not even close. Man. So on we go, guys, to some trending news stories. Let's see what's bouncing around out here. Let's see here. Big thing that we're all going to be aware of, if we're not already, is Donald Trump threatens $100 billion more in China tariffs. The stock market is going to be crazy today. Guaranteed it's going to be something very interesting. So we'll see what that does there. What else? Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth holds a 2-stroke lead after yesterday's round 1 in that. What else do we have? Deerfield, Illinois. This is interesting. Deerfield, Illinois just banned assault weapons. The penalty is up to $1,000 a day. So if you have an assault weapon, you have to get rid of this thing or pay this penalty. This is huge, man. So that's a big deal right there. What else do we got? I think that's all I got. Oh, Youngstown, Ohio. Zombie-like raccoons are terrifying Ohio residents. How would you like to have a zombie raccoon in your backyard? That sounds kind of scary, doesn't it? I don't know, man. Last but not least, this little article, I don't want to share the whole thing. The headline is this: teen turns down plea of 25 years. I don't know what the crime was. And he gets 65 years. You know, in a world today where everybody thinks you can get away with everything, it's good to be reminded that, you know what? Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you will pay a penalty for whatever it might be. So, anyways, on we go, guys. Let's move forward to a passage of wisdom. Slow this thing down just a hair. Today's passage. Oh, yes. I remember this passage. I planned this a couple days ago, and I planned it for today on Friday for a specific purpose, and you'll know as soon as I read it. Today's passage of wisdom is out of Mark chapter 6, verse 31. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." Doesn't that sound amazing on a Friday? Right? Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he, Jesus, said to them, the disciples, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." It is good to get some rest, guys, as we are going, and doing. And sometimes we can be wrapped up in thinking we can always do more, especially when we're looking outward on how we can help people, how we can impact the world. There's so much work to do. There's so many things to do. We're going, right? Bills to pay, all these different things. It is healthy to slow down and take a rest, because that's how you have the chance to recharge, to go at it again. Great passage, great encouragement. I hope that this weekend you also are able to get some time to slow down and have a rest. Let's pray, guys. Let's get this day started. Friday, here you are. You came without us asking for you. God, you bring the days like a plan, and every day just keeps rolling one after another. The sun rises, the sun sets, the moon comes out, the moon goes down. It's a constant rhythm, and we thank you for the wisdom that you have in laying it out the way that you did. You don't make the days too long where we can't make them through, and the nights are long enough to get good rest. Just in the passage that you've shared with us today, it's a reminder that we need that time of rest, and we thank you for playing out the seasons and the daily sunrise and sunset to give us a chance to defrag and recoup. Father, I ask that you give us protection on this Friday as we go out into the world and as we look for opportunities to make a difference, to make a mark on this day, to make this Friday a memorable day that we'll always remember because we did what? For someone or for something in your name. Father, help us today to remember as we go through our day and as we look for opportunities to be an encouragement to others, to love on other people, that we are doing it all for your praise. Yes, we feel good when we do it, but we do it for your praise because you have done it for us. You have given us an amazing gift of love and grace, never ending and unwavering. Father, protect us today as we go through our day. Give us the strength. Thank you for the weekend. We love you so much. Amen. And that, my friends, is a magnificent wrap to yet another week of the morning routine. Thanks for being here, guys. Don't you forget that you can watch it at any time of day, 24 hours a day a week on Facebook Live, YouTube, or all the podcasts. All the articles, of course, on the morningroutine.live. And until Monday when we get together again, don't you forget that today and the weekend is a perfect time for you to spend some time. Sit down with a notepad and a pen. And just dream. What is it that gets me excited? What is it that just cranks me up and energizes me? What is it that I want to be part of the solution to or make an impact in? These are the things that might be the things that you were meant for, that God has planned out for you to be part of. Don't you forget that you have an amazing ability to be who you were meant to be and make an impact greater than just yourself. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.